Hey guys, before you watch this super awesome video presentation from yours truly, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Brian Solange, on Gab at Brian Solange, and on Instagram at Brian Solange. I've decided to step up my game. I will begin posting updates including heads up, sneak peeks, and reminders on all upcoming videos, live streams, and projects, in addition to starting general conversations about whatever in order to better connect and interact with you guys, my equally awesome supporters. Because of course, without you, none of this would even be possible. Also, don't forget to subscribe to me over on BitChute and my newest venture, Brighteon, as well as friend me on Facebook. And be sure to check out my personal website at formmotion.com. Sign up and feel free to participate in or even start your own conversation thread about almost anything. Unless you're a feminist, we promise not to judge. If you want exclusive access to my archived and classic content, along with sneak peeks of newer content including written blogs, short films, docu-commentaries, original poems, and more, be sure to sign up and become a valued patron of my work over at patreon.com. Of course, if you want to show your individual support, you can always feel free to make a donation to my PayPal. Any little bit helps, and your donations are always appreciated. And last, but certainly not least, be sure to sign up and subscribe to me on FS Avenger. Even if you don't like my content, sign up to FS Avenger. It's the first of its kind video sharing platform made, owned, and run by free-thinking black men exclusively for free-thinking black men. Nothing of this magnitude has ever been done quite like we do it over at FS. It is bold, daring, innovative, and most importantly, it's black. Thank you so much for your support and enjoy the video. Deuces.
Hello?
I want the child.
I want the cassette.
I give the cassette to my girlfriend. They will know what to do with it.
Bad move, Johnny boy. Now the kid has no value. What am I going to do with her? She's too young to work. Maybe not. What do you think?
I think you should come to the window.
Now, I know where you are. I'm coming up.
He's coming up. Hey, monsieur, là-haut!
맞잖아. 롤러코스터. 롤러코스터.
롤 멤버 써. 라 호랑 정 미꾸라지 잠깐만. 잘생겼다. 잘생겼네. 얘가 못하네. 얘가 못해.
장첸연애. 잘생겼다.
잘한다 너. 와 잘한다.
맞았어?
얘가 못하네. 소보로빵.
소보로빵. 오케이. 소보로빵. 네. 기빼.
까르보나라.
토니 몬타나.
까르보나라.
라치 몬타나.
까르보나라.
라지볼라라. 라지모라.
보름달 슈가 보름달 빛 보름달 시 보름달 영준 야 여기만 보름달 시 야 보름달 아우리
I just wanna see, I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it, I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If I the best part, the best part.
down, bounce in my gym. 춤을 뻑뻑아, workaholic man. 내게 바람 쐬며 성장한 case. 내 키는 충무도 내게 I'm okay. 흔들리는 가는 배, 꿈을 들어가는 내 위층들을 받으시며.
뭐라 해도 I don't care. I'm proud of it. 난 잘없네. 너무 알았네. 나는 항상 나였길. 손가락질 해. 나는 전혀 신경 쓰지 않네. 나는 역할은 내가. 그 이유가 뭐든 간에 I know what I am. I know what I want. I never gon' change. I never gon' trade.
You know, I've been hearing through the wires for a couple of years now about fellow content creator Cynthia G, the pro-slack feminist who low-key hates black men, well, high-key despises black men, and was a former Swirler, among other things. And this ongoing series that she has been running called Who They Choose. Now, Who They Choose has gotten a lot of attention in the black sector of not only YouTube but across social media, because what it supposedly features, although I haven't seen it directly with my own eyes because I simply don't have the time, but from what I'm hearing from different brothers is that this particular series produced by Cynthia G features black men with, let's just say, what most people would consider physically and otherwise undesirable white and other types of women, but mainly white women. And the argument, I suppose, that Cynthia G is trying to make, like a lot of these other whining females, is that black men are choosing the dregs of the white race and other tribes of people when it comes to their choice in women. Now, I could, go into, the whole analysis of why this is both true and false, completely true and completely false, because, there's really no extreme to either end. But I could also go into why this is hypocritical. But I won't do any of that because this video, which is a promotional video, is not about that. What it is about, however, is that upon me doing further research into this whole K-pop culture vulture thing, for a more wanting term, trying to be as politically correct here on YouTube as I possibly can, with black women worshiping this K-pop culture, what I've learned, what I've come to understand, is that Cynthia G's series, Who They Choose, that title can be easily translated into who they choose when it comes to black women, and who they choose concerning other races of men. Now, particularly with this K-pop thing, in the first part of this, you guys saw exactly what the black female in question here is about, what, turns her on, what she lusts after, why she's over in South Korea. And one of the things that I mentioned, or one of the things that I showed, let me put it like that. One of the things that I showed was her, some stuff that she shared publicly on her Facebook timeline, including some of these K-pop boy band groups. And it's ironic because, about a month ago, I actually did a video on the whole dilemma with K-pop celebrity suicides, and how, the underlying issues with the industry and the pressures put on these young Korean people that are on stage, traveling on tour all the time. And, some of these people are being abused. They suffer from depression. They don't really live their own lives, yada, yada, yada. There have been a couple of big name K-pop so-called superstars, including, I think Sully was one of them, a female that committed suicide. And I talked about that in that video. What I did not talk about, because I was not aware of it at the time, was, what you're going to see, part of what you're going to see, because again, this is a 6-hour video. I'm going to further elaborate on the black female that's in question, since these people want to test me, but I'm also going to delve further into what you saw in that in part of that analysis, where I showed you guys just a strip of what's on her timeline, and involving these K-pop groups, particularly one called BTS. Now, I want to be as politically correct as I can here, as safe as I can here on YouTube. Let's just say BTS is one of the more well-known K-pop groups. It's a boy band group. These guys look like they're in it's really hard to tell with Asian men. They look like they're in their late teens to early 20s, young guys, and they're one of the popular groups in K-pop. And I mean, you saw the introduction. What I'm starting to realize, because we talk about the issues with I don't even know if it's safe to say issues with homosexuality. I say we talk about matters related to homosexuality and bisexuality in black culture. And a lot of the times we as black people are so focused on, especially me as a content creator, we're so focused on talking about black culture, we don't realize that there are other things happening outside of, just black culture and black people problems and this, that, and the other. Every group of people have their issues, okay? Now, what I came to realize that I didn't realize when I made that video analyzing, K-pop suicide deaths a couple of months ago was that just like there's an underlying, God, I can't even say that safely because people are saying, oh, you're homophobic, flag the video. I will say, just like we talked about, homosexuality and bisexuality in the black community, I'm starting to realize that not only is there a huge push for that in Korean and Asian culture, it's all of this westernized feminist and liberal hysteria and propaganda and culture is absorbing into a lot of these places in Asia and even the Middle East. But I'm also noticing that there is, just like it is with black men, as I showed in the intro, there appears to be a push to normalize emasculating masculinity in Asian culture. I'm talking about Asian popular culture. Okay? I'm just going to leave it at this. Okay? These guys with BTS that this particular female in question practically worships, that, this was one of her reasons for going on over to South Korea. And look, we've talked about how black women, they love black men who are homosexuals and transsexuals. And like I said, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that here on YouTube. Okay? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that here on YouTube. I'm just saying we know that black women have an affinity for black men who are sexually suspect or, flamboyantly homosexual or transsexual. I see that there is also that same affinity for Korean males and other types of Asian males in these pop groups. Because some of the stuff that I saw, just for an example, okay, if you didn't notice in the intro, these guys are in a lot of these pictures, even though one of them I think has a child, in a lot of these pictures, these guys are wearing lipstick. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Dude, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, I'm not going to go no further than that. They're wearing lipstick. All right, so, I want you to look, again, back to what I said in the beginning. Cynthia G and her series on black, call herself dragging black men for interracially dating, what she considers to be the, and the chief thing is, and I've gotten on black men as hard as I've gotten on black women. that black men pick the dregs of other people's tribes and society. Like I said, I could argue for that. I could argue against that. I could argue why that's hypocritical of her all day long. Okay, there's really no total truth on either side of that, as far as I'm concerned. But that same argument that she makes can be made for black women, including the subculture of black females that are going to places like South Korea under the auspices of school teaching. Not saying that this particular black female is going there as a school teacher, but we're going to get into that in part 3 of this series. They're going there, mostly as under the auspices, of school teachers, and they're, masking, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are masking their true intentions, which are to seek out and make themselves available, we will just say, for Korean men, mainly Korean males that to some extent resemble the K-poppers that are in these Korean groups. And the question has to be really asked, okay? Because look, you saw my intro, okay? I don't have a problem with Asian dudes. To this day, some of my favorite action movies have been martial arts, okay? I have like 5 different Jet Li movies. He's still one of my favorite actors, Jet Li. Like, I really think his fight scenes were more. I know he said that he was a student of people like Bruce Lee, Chow Yun-fat, Jackie Chan, but when you look at him, like, his fight scenes were more well synced and choreographed, like a dance choreography, than Bruce Lee, Chow Yun-fat, or Jackie Chan, the most well-known stars that were able to cross over into the West and do well. So I don't have a problem with, masculine, or at least males. We know they're just actors, but I'm saying Asian male entertainers that present some level of masculinity. Oh, God. Don't bring up lipstick again. Never mind. I was about to say something, but never mind. Because, again, this is YouTube. So, and again, the only reason you hear my voice here on YouTube, the only reason is because this promotional video, part 2, is for a live stream that is so enormously huge. Okay? It's close to 17 and a half hours, if not more, over 3 parts. Okay? So I said there will be exceptions to my rule of never putting my voice on YouTube ever again, because there's censorship policy. But when I have a project this large, I have to do this. I'm going to leave you with this, because the whole part 2 is not about this. Most of the part 2 continues to be about the female in question that got butthurt about a video that I made and tried to sick her distant family members on me in my Facebook DM, and I'm going to out those people who were involved in this second part as well. But I think the focal point here is that black men need to understand that when it comes to this K-pop worship, you thinking that black females are just choosing masculine, or what they consider to be masculine, Asian men over black men. Let me just say this. Given what I've seen, especially with this BTS group, things may not be exactly as they seem. Okay? Because these guys in particular, like I said, dude, they're wearing red lipstick. Okay? Not in every picture, but I'm just saying there's some suspect things going on. Okay? And you know, people will say, oh, this is part of Korean K-pop culture. Like I said, this is a promotional video. Okay, we're just gonna end it right here. All right, you saw the intro. I've said enough. If you want to see part 2, it's also just short of a 6-hour video. Click the link in the description box and or pinned post. Thank all of those of you who participated in part 1. Part 3 will be coming down the pipe in a couple of days. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you later, guys.